This amber orange ball, hovering above the scientific equipment connected to it, seems to be the reason for what happened in Nashville. You can feel the waves of anomalous radiation emanating from it with your whole body. A pleasant tingling rolls through your skin, and each wave fills your head for a mere moment with strange, rapidly fading images. Without taking your eyes off the sphere, you move closer.
All right, let's connect the equipment to stabilize this bad boy.
You bend toward the equipment. It's possible the slight electric current being emitted somehow stimulates the artifact's activity, so you decrease the voltage. The cooling system is working 1/2 throttle, so you bring it up to 85%. These measures should reduce the anomalous radiation intensity. At least, that's what you're hoping for.
Yes, that is what I'm
hoping for. You suddenly
hoping
begin
for.
to feel numb. The prickling in your hands and the anomalous radiation pressing against your head grow weaker, but a frightening sensation rises in their stead. An unknown force detaches you from your body and takes you up into the cool, ringing silence. The maelstrom hanging above Nashville embraces you.
Uh-oh.
All of your consciousness unfolds like a giant canvas, hurling you into a dark auditorium. You see the maelstrom swirling over Nashville. Pulling you from the crumbling walls of the base, it lifts your mind above the world. It covers the lands of the dome like a gigantic spot, in the swirling shadow of which the lights of human consciousness flicker. Some of them fade away, barely in contact with the maelstrom. Others grow dimmer and blink painfully. Some glow with a strange, cold light. Gaining strength, the maelstrom, rushing westward, comes crashing down onto the southern lands of the dome, leaving behind hundreds of fluttering and slowly fading lights. After sweeping out Concord and Spire Station, the maelstrom finally calms down. It hangs in the very center of the dome, like a majestic, lazily swirling vortex, and your mind rushes about within it like a shining spark.
Well, I mean, at least we didn't die.
It takes you some time to realize that you're wandering through a fog. Eventually, the dull, white nothingness begins to dissipate, slowly returning you to reality. A noise fills your ears, a rumble resembling the sound of waves rolling ashore. You step carefully through the white haze. Fragile bits of rock crackle under your feet. Vague shadows appear from the mist over your head. Breached concrete plate bristling with exposed armature. The dusty drill of an earth mover lying on its side. Yellowed documents, boxes. Crushed steel closets that tumble down through gaps in the floor. The space beneath your feet resembles thick but perfectly transparent ice. A vortex of clouds spins slowly below, the lights still flickering. They're the same lights you saw when you first touched the sphere. The lights are actively moving, wandering, gathering. Iridescent, they form both small and large groups, and the desert far below changes, following their pattern. Settlements appear in the north, in the east, in the west, and even in the dull yellow barrens of the south. They grow right before your eyes, as if time were moving ahead at incredible speed.
That doesn't sound good. What's going on here? Hey, Steel!
Hello?
You wow, this is yeah? You were certain I was dead, huh? Okay. At least you made it out. Yes, how ironic. Alright. I know. Hey, there's... Oh, Tim, that guy. Yeah, what do you have to say, Tim?
Hi there.
Yeah, holy crap. Yeah, you know me. Those glasses will fry you pretty quick. Oh, okay. Where are you now? Really? You made it? You found a car? Okay. Oh, okay. Not everyone can escape, I guess. Alright. Actually, let's talk to Clara.
Clara is surrounded with white light and mist, her hands clasped in prayer. She reminds you of an angel statue from some reformist church. Seeing you, her expression changes. She crosses herself, mumbling under her breath. She nods timidly.
Yes, I see. This, both you and this mist, it's all in my head.
Clara never moves her gaze off you.
I remember you saying, find the car and drive away. If I knew you were sacrificing yourself, I would have stayed. If someone frees you from your oath out of generosity or humanity, does that mean the oath shouldn't be fulfilled? I still don't know the answer to it.
You see sorrow and grief in her eyes.
I only know that I'm an awful wrongdoer. I hope you're in heaven now?
Clara sighs heavily.
I see. Why are you appearing to me? Is this some sort of a sign? Do you know about signs? This is when...
Her voice suddenly becomes deep and thick. She drawls as if her words were being played from a corrupted tape. Clara's face alters subtly, as if it had turned to stone.
Abbott is very kind to me, but his faith is nothing I could get used to.
She says in a dull voice.
Wow. Looks like she has tormented herself, huh?
There's no doubt. The funny, scruffy old man standing before you is Aaron Melville, the old man from the gas station. He also recognizes you. A smile wrinkles his already wrinkled face.
Ah, it's you. Long time no see, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's enough of the sweetheart nonsense.
Melville examines you closely.
Safe and sound, I see. How'd you pull that off? No one survived where you were heading. The only worst place is the center of the dome, where the spire... Well, you know.
The old man points vaguely upwards with his crooked finger.
You're aware, aren't you? The spire is falling. Now the road's closed. As if folks would want to come here anyway. And here we stay like crabs in a barrel.
He thumps his timber leg on the ground, driving the mist away.
Don't think that I'm complaining. My business is on a roll. They come and they go.
Melville's face seems to petrify. He speaks slowly, but flounders anyway.
The gas station can be crowded nowadays. Everybody needs my gas station. Folks went crazy, I tell you. Fighting over nothing.
The old man woefully shakes his head.
Okay, then. Let's keep looking.
A dazzling supernova-like flash sweeps across your view. The lights, frozen in the desert, start to move, and a cloudy funnel begins to slowly trail after. The funnel spreads out under your feet. Flickering waves of lights drift northward, driven by the winds of a maelstrom. Not just a maelstrom. Maelstrom. Its shadow covers the west and south of the dome, as if it was extinguishing the lights scattered across the desert.
Oh, more people. I know Kingsley. Let's talk to Kingsley.
A gray-haired man, arms stiff at his sides, stands squinting short-sightedly into the mist. Kingsley is much shorter in person, and older. He notices you.
I never thought we'd meet again. I must thank you. Thanks to your report, I was able to start the evacuation in time.
Martin comes closer. You notice small changes in his uniform. Some of the insignia have been replaced by larger patches resembling military chevrons. Kingsley nods as if anticipating your question.
Yes, the uniform is new, but the man is the same. Head of Magellan Base. I intended to resign after the incident, but Nakamura decided otherwise. I couldn't argue with her.
Who's
He
Nakamura?
surveys the thick mist around you.
One thing's certain. You're standing here. That means you're alive. Yes, I know what this is, partly.
He looks you in the eye and says,
Scientists on the emulator project have been telling us a lot about it. Not everything, of course. Even they don't know what it is.
Okay, emulator project. Got it.
Van Olden looks the same as he did during your first meeting.
Oh, okay.
The same shiny glasses with thin rims, an arrogant expression, and a stopwatch clutched in his hand.
This is the guy who tested me on the relics.
He's examining a shred of mist hanging in the air. He's so involved in his research that he doesn't notice you at first. Meeting your eyes, the scientist instantly darts back. Then he comes up to you and begins to palpate your face, hands, and clothes. His fingers seem to sink in your face. Sebastian Van Olden screws up his lips scornfully.
Yes, of course. A thought form, like the pink mist, I suppose, or any other similar anomaly. As was to be expected.
For a split second, the scornful grimace leaves the scientist's face.
I actually agree with you. The megala anomaly of Nashville turned out to be much more dangerous, and the consequences of its appearance disastrous. On the other hand, everything that happened gives us the most plentiful research material. If Russo didn't hamper me, we would have learnt Maelstrom's nature a long time ago.
He runs his hand over the mist, curling around. The scientist loses all interest in you, steps aside, and continues to study the mist.
All right, let's keep moving.
You smell quartz and sand tempered in the sun. But as you try to penetrate the dispersing mist, you can't see any desert. The world around you is full of pictures. They're floating around like visions in some crystal ball. A hall covered with carpets. A golden Cronus logo on the wall among wine-red banners. A power plant. A city filled with lights. Mercenaries, soldiers, armored vehicles moving through the cool wasteland in the night. The spire of a temple spire, its searchlight shining into the night sky. White corridors of research complexes. The visions fade one after another until only the last remains. The black silhouette of a strange building towering up from the lighter sand. This picture freezes before your eyes, as if giving sense to everything that came before.
Oh my, this is a lot of people. Abbott. Do I know any of these people? I do not, so I'll start over here.
You hear heels clicking. A dark figure appears out of the mist before you. It's a woman. You've never met her, but you feel as though you've seen her face 1,000 times. You even know the sound of her voice, although you have no idea where you could have heard it. She looks at you with surprise. Then she frowns pensively and steps closer. She stands so close you can see multicolored reflections in her bionic eye. After poking you to confirm your ethereal nature, she waves her hand left to right. Obviously, she's hoping to disperse you like mist. Naturally, she fails. The woman chuckles discontentedly and leaves. The clicking of her heels fades quickly away.
Oh, that was rude. All right, Abbott.
A wizened old man, long and lean as a scarecrow, leans over to examine you with the curiosity of a vulture. His long, yellow-white robes fall down in waves and rustle quietly. His stony black eyes resemble those of a blind man, but their gaze is fixed on you.
Such remarkable technology.
He says in a low, well-modulated voice. This voice seems to belong to some other person. He smiles, a warm and kindly expression, wildly at odds with the menace in his eyes.
Name your price, and I'll buy your design. But be reasonable. Take time with your answer. Think it through.
With the smile still fixed on his face, he steps back into the mist, never taking his eyes off you.
Okay. Let's talk to this person.
The mist fades away. You see a short, dark-skinned man with a grim face. He's wearing a brightly colored turban. You take a step towards him, and he strides forward as if to block your way.
The ends justify the means, don't they? Have your scientists nothing better to do, Kimiko?
The stranger raises his hand, forcing you to stop. He looks up again.
We have to be like the Soviet Union and Germany in the late 1930s. Mutual favors, mutual limits, parity. We've always worked on such terms.
As he finishes speaking, his lips stop. The man in the turban keeps standing there, a lean figure looking angrily upward.
Okay. Apparently, he doesn't like me. Or
An
Kimiko
unfamiliar woman
Nakamura.
steps out of the mist and looks at you with the wandering eyes of a mad person. She's wearing a tall, crudely
Oh my.
made tin crown
Nice.
painted with gold powder enamel. She smiles, although on her, this expression is more like an evil grin. She begins to prowl around you in a circle, wary eyes locked on your face. While circling around you, she steps into the mist and stops in place, a vague, distant silhouette.
Okay. We got crazy people.
The fluctuant
Well,
light
I guess everyone
slowly
is crazy.
settles. A man and a woman stand before you. The woman rolls her eyes discontentedly.
Are you serious? Tuesday, I tell you. Wednesday, I tell you. Thursday. How come I always repeat the same thing? I can't sleep without my pills. You're the man. You're responsible for me. The nightstand.
Such
The top
misogyny. I
drawer.
love it.
There they are. Oh, my pills. Just say pills before we go to sleep. Is that so difficult, Johan?
She pushes him lightly on the shoulder. The man nods automatically, lost in thought. The woman clasps her hands in front of her chest. She's boiling with frustration.
I can't depend on you, can I? I haven't been able to relax in years because I have to control the situation for both of us. Johan! Hello! My pills! Pills!
Her shouts break through the man's pondering. He comes to his senses and stares at you in surprise. Then he turns to face his companion.
Olivia, don't shout. Make a habit of putting your pills on your pillow. Anyway, this isn't about the pills.
Olivia falters and points her finger at you.
And what is this? Or who is this? Mind telling me, without the never-ending riddles, Johan. Just tell me.
Johan gives you an appraising look.
Is it Maelstrom? Abbott's trying out a new device? I don't know, darling. Now, be so kind to take these goddamn pills since you remembered. And if you must yell, do it quietly. I have a migraine.
If you must yell, do it quietly. Words to live by.
The woman flings her arms up fiercely and walks away into the mist. Johan lets her go ahead, then follows. The fuzzy mist, as if whisked with a mixer, looks like slowly dissolving clouds. A short, chubby little man in a camouflage cap and army shirt steps fussily out of the white. He clasps his hands behind his back and stops a few steps away. scanning you with his gaze. Vivid interest flashes in his eyes. He clears his throat.
I'm out of jokes about death. Or about Mr. Christ. I'm out of jokes about hallucinations. Although hallucinations under the dome aren't any joke, but an everyday reality.
The man circles you. His glance bounces from your face to your uniform to your shoes and back.
But you are something else. So, let's see. A pre-war haircut, all-time uniform, clean and pressed. Shoes aren't worn out, just got them.
He recites with enthusiasm.
How can he tell? I'm in... Never mind.
He frees his plump palm and carefully touches you with one finger.
You are ethereal, but light-tight. You respond to my movements. You are not using an image that's familiar to me. You don't look like anyone I know. And your badge says...
He raises himself on tiptoes and fixes his eyes upon your badge.
The name. Of course. Of course. The name.
He flings his arms about and leaves without even saying goodbye. The mist seems to slam shut behind his back, like a pair of wing doors closing.
Well, that was rude. All right. Well, we made it out of that long sequence, and that's going to do it for this story interlude. Like and subscribe for more content, and as always, I will see you in the next video.